Welcome to your latest Forest transfer news. Coming up on today's episode, 25 million bid rejected, but Forest still want Yilmaz. Douglas Luiz is waiting for other offers. Nuno gets the curse of the manager of the month. And a preview as Forest take on the Plucky Luton. All this and plenty more coming up today on your latest Forest news. Let's get into it. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest transfer news and Plucky Luton preview. If you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to Forest Fan TV, and if you want more additional exclusive content, then make sure you sign up on our Patreon, which you can do by scanning this QR code or clicking on the link that's pinned in the comments. And let me know in the comments, do you care about the FA Cup this year? The one that got away from Cloughie. Do Forest still need to tick that box? Nuno's done 6 in a row. Cloughie didn't do it. Can he go and do the FA Cup? Does it feel like one of those seasons? All right, let's get into the news. And we got a lot of transfer news for you. And I want to start with Yilmaz from Galatasaray. We brought you this story a few days ago, and what a player he is. I would absolutely love him at Forest. Now, we told you then that Forest were going to put a bid in for the winger, and they did. And it got rejected. The bid was 25 million euros. And Galatasaray have said, no, thank you very much. Their reasons for it, they want to build a team around Yilmaz. They see him as the nucleus of that squad, the hard worker, the good player that he is, and they are desperate to keep hold of him. Now, how does the player feel about all this? Well, there are reports coming out to say that the lure of the Premier League may be tempting for him and that he himself could be interested in a move. Now, does that mean Forest necessarily? No, but the Premier League, yes. He has not said anything about Forest in specific. But with Forest being third in the Premier League, I mean, how much higher does he want to go? So there is positive signs on this. And more so than that, it is expected now that Forest are going to go back in again with an improved offer and test the resolve of Galatasaray. This is a player that Nuno has been keen on since the summer. Forest did try a late bid on deadline day. Apparently, I didn't know this, to try and get him, but Galatasaray's stance then was the same as it is now. They want to hold on to the player. So I'm getting a little excited about this one, but I don't want to get carried away. And I think he would be a huge, great addition to the team. What do you guys think on Yilmaz? Do you want him? How high do you think Forest will go? What will it take, if you're a Galatasaray fan watching, what will it take for your boys to say yes? Will it be 30 million euros, 35? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, so let's move on to some more interesting transfer news. And that is, of course, on Douglas Luiz, the Juventus midfielder who is up potentially for leaving. Now, Forest have put in an offer for him. This is a loan offer. And it looks like Juventus would be happy to accept because he's not really getting much game time. However, deja vu. We've got another Jimenez scenario. Douglas Luiz wants to wait to hear what other offers come in before he responds to Forest with a yay or a nay on whether or not he'll make the move to the City ground. Now, this for me isn't a Moreno style thing where, you know, he doesn't want to leave the club and what have you, or a Jimenez one where he's like, I ain't playing in no relegation team. This one for me just makes sense. Like, it's a bit like, you know, if you're selling a car or something, you don't necessarily go and say yes to the first offer if you know that 4 or 5 people are coming for the viewing or a house or whatever it is. You wait till everyone's been in, had a look round and put an offer for you on the table, and then you make your decision. And I think that's what he's doing. He's well aware that there are plenty of other clubs interested in him. And, you know, there's still talks about the likes of Man U trying to have a sniff at him, going back to Villa, things like that. So he's waiting to see what emerges from this. But Forest have shown their hand. They are keen on him. There is a loan offer on the table. And I didn't really tell you guys how I feel about this deal. I think for me, I would 100% take him. Now, I know he's not been good at Juventus. And speaking, as I said last time to Luke, he had a great start to the season last year for Villa and then fell away halfway through. But the reason they sold him wasn't because he'd gone crap, it was because they needed to balance the books on PSR. And it was a case of sell him instead of selling whoever it might have been, you know, Rodgers, Duran, whatever. So it was a bit like Newcastle. It was a necessity selling rather than one they wanted to do, like Newcastle did with us with Elliot Anderson. So I'm not looking at this one, nor do I think any of you guys, I mean, you can do what you want, it's your minds. We shouldn't really look at this one and think, oh, the pompous little git. He's going to use Forest as the backup offer and see if there's anything better. I mean, maybe that is the scenario, but I think it's just worth settling down and seeing what he decides. But the good news is the offer is on the table from Forest to bring him in on loan. Now, the smart ones amongst you are going to be like, well, hold on. Did you just say this is a loan deal? Haven't we got Moreno and JWP? Yes is the answer, but there are different rules when it comes to loan players that are coming from overseas. So you can, I can't remember what the numbers are off the top of my head. I think it's 4 that you can have and 2 from within the league you're in, but only 2 can be registered. And remember that there's a refresh of registration once this window closes. So in essence, even if Forest don't cancel JWP or Moreno or whatever they're going to do, they can just not register one of them if they want to bring Luiz in as that loanee registration. So Forest have got it all covered. Let's not worry about that. I mean, they got everything covered, it feels, so far this season. So let me know, though, what you think on Douglas Luiz. Would you take him or not after knowing that he's waiting to see these other offers? Let me know in the comments. Alrighty, let's move on to the biggest worrying news of the day, and that is congratulations to my beloved gaffer Nuno, who wins Manager of the Month yet again. He won it in October and now in December. And I'm saying congratulations through gritted teeth because it scares the crap out of me. And if any of you lot are not scared, then stop asking me to predict 0-0 on all these fixtures coming up, because there is such a thing as the curse of Manager of the Month, the curse of Player of the Month. And now I'm worried, especially as we've got Liverpool coming up. But in a way, I'm almost thinking like, let's just lose to Luton and get the curse done and dusted. You know, it's only the FA Cup. We're in a title race. But do you believe in the curse? Look, all freaking voodoo stuff aside, what a job he is doing. To get Manager of the Month 2 out of 3 months is ridiculously good. It just shows how amazing he is. And he's so humble in the way he accepts it as well. There would be some man, I mean, if it was me, I'd be like, yeah, man, it was all me. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you being here as part of, you know, my entourage. But no, not Nuno. Let me read you what he said because he is so amazing. So he's put out a quote. He's done all his pictures and stuff. And then he said, firstly, I have to thank the players who go out there and give their all for the club. Ultimately, this is recognition for their performances. He doesn't stop there. He goes, we also have to thank everyone at the club and the support and ambition they show. That's Marinakis. Starting with our owner. There you go. He did say it, Mr. Marinakis, all the way through to every member of staff. And finally, we cannot thank our fans enough for their magnificent support. What a bloke, man. What a bloke. What a team. Everything right now is all singing and dancing at Forest. Forest haven't done a Forest yet. That scares the crap out of me. But congratulations to Nuno. Please do not get the curse of Manager of the Month, Nuno. I can't deal with it. Not with Liverpool on Tuesday. And now let's go on and speak about Plucky Luton. Alrighty, so let's talk about plucky old Luton and the team that I think, or I would like to see Nuno going with. But firstly and foremost, the most important news is that Danilo is back and he will be in the squad, but very unlikely to start. And after the injury he got, it's a miracle that he's back. So shout out to Danilo. It's good to see him back in the frame. Now, in terms of the team itself, against Plucky Luton, who sacked Rob Edwards, the great greatest manager on earth and are now managerless. In fact, Cooper's being linked to that job. Imagine this gets announced today. Anyway, I would make wholesale changes, but I don't know if Nuno will. Nuno will treat this cup very seriously. He is a big fan of the FA Cup. But there are certain players that need resting. For me, Ola Aina needs a rest. He always looks knackered with like 15, 20 minutes to go. Sells, take him out, freshen him up, bring in the big man just for Nicky himself, put him in there. And bring in Bolly. Now, I was going to put Omar Bamadeli ahead of Morato, but I think Omar Bamadeli is on his way out of Forest, be it on loan or be it on a permanent move into the Championship. Leeds are still interested, as we told you the other day. So I don't think they'll cup tie him. He'll probably be on the bench. And then I think Tuffler will start at left back, not Moreno. In midfield, this is where it's a little tough. I don't know who would replace Morgan Gibbs-White in the 10 apart from Elliot Anderson, but I think they both need to be rested and freshened up, ready for Liverpool. So I'd kind of keep one first team choice in there, and that would be Elanga. And the rest, I would use the second team, the B team, the 18B team. So I would go Ward-Prowse and Yates in the middle. I would move Jota into the 10, he can play there, Sosa on the left, Elanga on the right, and Taiwo up front. Now, if you wanted to rest Elanga as well, you could put Nico Williams in on the right-hand side, and you could either put him at right back or right mid, or right wing, sorry, or you could flip it around and put De Silva as a right back or a right winger. He can do the same thing as well. I really want to see De Silva play. Honestly, guys, I am so certain this guy is going to be an absolute baller in years to come for Forest. So I want to see him getting some game time. But yeah, that's pretty much the team I'd go with. In terms of Luton, I couldn't tell you anything about them because they are insignificant to me and I haven't watched a single minute of them. All I know is they're languishing in a relegation battle alongside the likes of Derby. And they sacked their manager. And, you know, all that talk last year about plucky old Luton, they're going to relegate Forest. Where are they now? And where are we now? Love it. But would you go with that team or not? Let me know in the comments. So let me give you a quick prediction. And do I care about the FA Cup, to answer my own question from the start of the video? The answer is not really. I'll be honest with you. I like the idea of Forest having a run, but I used to look at this as, okay, Forest get a run, it's a route to Europe. Now, for me, the route to Europe can and should come from the league table. However, we need certain teams not to win this to take places out of the league table because the FA Cup holds the position for the Europa League. And if a team that doesn't finish in the Europa League spots gets it, then it doesn't go into the league. Anyway, it's a whole thing. We've done a video on it. So, do I care about it? Not really, if I'm being honest with you. My whole focus right now is on Tuesday and beating Liverpool and getting Forest officially into a title race. Because everyone's starting to talk about the what if. What if Forest do beat Liverpool? Are they in a title race? I kind of like it, but it scares me as well. Anyway, we'll do the whole Liverpool thing in a day or two's time. So for this, what am I predicting? You guys want to hear me say 0-0, no doubt. So, all right, you can have your 0-0. Honestly, I don't care. If we lose this one, that's fine by me because it gets rid of the manager of the month curse. If we go through, fantastic. Get to keep making sure that the second string players get game time. So that's why I think it's important to Forest. But honestly, my full focus, I got the blinders on. It's all about that league title. So get your predictions in down below as well. And that brings you up to date with your Forest news. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to FFTV if you're new around here for your daily Forest uploads. And if you want the additional exclusive content, and there's some transfer news on there, go sign up on our Patreon. You can scan the QR code or the link is in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.